Welcome everybody to episode 44 of the effing title. I am Big Husky, or as one person out there knows me as Big Beaver Husky. There's your shout out, Jason. Today with me I have Fedge. Fedge, hi.
Hello, I'm back.
And today we present to you the NFL Week 13 review and Week 14 preview. So let's take a look at last week's rankings for us. Me and Scratchy tied up with 11-4 with +1 records. Fedge coming in at 9-6 with a -1 and lock. This last week was
stupid Seahawks.
Yeah, this last week was kind of wild, bro. Like, we had all sorts of fucking upsets.
That's
we had my phone's fucking popping off right now for no reason.
Yeah, Pittsburgh losing, to Washington. I mean, the NFC East isn't liking getting shit talked about, dude. Washington's coming up with a win. Dallas was in the game last night. I mean,
I was about to say, yeah,
they can make field goals, dude. I mean, they were in that game even more. Like, that's just...
You have all these wild games. You have a Tuesday night game. You have 2 Monday night games. Like, it's like... Yeah, we're
then
fucking...
even better. Then you got freaking... what's his name? Jalen Hurts starting now. Because Carson Wentz couldn't do the job. So NFC East is just... hold my beer on everything. I am getting this done. That's what they're saying right now. We're going to do this.
We got the Patriots getting a shutout on the Chargers, which I could be 100% wrong with this, but I feel like that's the first shutout of the season.
No, come on.
I don't know.
I think the Saints shut out the...
Did they shut some? Okay. Because I was going to say, I can't remember anyone being shut out right now. So.
Yeah, I mean, shutouts in general are obviously hard to come by, but... not let alone a 45-0 shutout. It's just,
yeah, exactly.
That is insane.
We got a close game with the Browns and the Titans. Close game with the Jets and the Raiders. Greg Williams going out on his fucking sword of saying, "Hey, I'm gonna run zero blitz on."
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing.
No one knows what he was doing.
And there's a reason Greg Williams is no longer with us.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, R.I.P. Greg Williams. He will be missed. Jags almost beating the Vikings.
The Jags have been looking good the last couple of weeks. I mean, they're sticking with people, and that's what I think gets a lot of people scared just with the NFC in general. I mean, you got your top teams, Saints. You put Seattle up there, but I mean, I'm gonna really go Saints, Green Bay. But then, I mean, you're gonna have probably someone like the Vikings sneak in, and they're sticking with a 2-11 team in the AFC. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Is the NFC even gonna be able to put up anything?
I mean, that's the thing. Is it's a little bit wild because we've talked about it as well. Like, you see some of these teams, like we talk about the NFC East and all the ridiculousness that's going on there, and then you look at the AFC and it's like, oh yeah, all the teams that are in the running for the playoffs are like positive, like beating the shit out of each other, and then you get the NFC where it's like, hey, the Giants and the Redskins or the Washington football team, they look like they're ready to fucking rock and roll and make it into the playoffs, by just showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you
got some crazy finishes though. I mean, if you look, you can look, Detroit and Chicago. I mean, what was it? Mitch fumbles there, their own. Went inside their own 10-yard line, and then 2 plays later, I think it was Adrian Peterson punched it in. I mean, look, Deshaun Watson trying to bring his team back, down by 6, ends up being a low snap. They fumble the ball, turn it over inside, going in for the win. It's just a lot of close games. And obviously, you gotta, you were talking about the Jets. I mean, that's
yeah. I mean,
close of all of them. That's just
literally
crazy,
you press the Ask Madden button on your fucking whatever gaming system you play, and you win that game. And it's one of those things. Like I said, I was watching Pat McAfee earlier today, and he said, like, even if you get two car on that play, you're still an idiot for running that play. Like, it still is like a bad.
If you
like,
get home and you stop them, it's still a bad.
It's still a bad call. Like,
just because it ended up working does not make it a good play call.
This isn't back in the days when you had Revis and Cromartie, where you could pull off some bullshit like that. Like,
Well, I mean, really, the Jets should just be paying Greg Williams anyway. Just pay the man, pay him double what he was supposed to get paid, because I'm pretty sure that's just going to lock you up with the number 1 pick, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
really,
that's the thing. It's just
I mean, you look at it. I mean,
were they really the win? They were the winners in that game. Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, because right now, yeah, they're fighting with it's them and it's Jacksonville. 0-12 versus 1-11. Like that's the two. You know, and that's the thing is like Jacksonville's been in a lot of these games recently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but all right, so let's now take a look at the total picks. Total picks for the season right now. Scratchy is at 121 and 71. I'm holding now at 116 and 76, and Fedge is still making his comeback at 106.86.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how you can make a comeback when you keep just getting further and further away.
Eventually.
If I pick all of them right, and you guys both pick all of them wrong, I will take the lead.
I mean, I'm just saying, like that's how it works, right? But yeah, so we got that. COVID-19 in the NFL. Fedge, what do we got? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone probably has already seen the whole Des Bryant
I was going to say,
the other night.
that's all. Luckily,
Dallas.
Actually, I got one other thing. Matt Judon and Mark Andrews are now off the COVID list and they're back on the roster.
Oh, okay, back on. Okay, nice.
That's it. That's my whole.
So there's, I mean, obviously the whole Des thing was a little weird, but so we've had a couple people put on. There was a breakout in the Panthers facility at the beginning of this week. I want to say Monday, where they put Derek Brown, Zach Carr, Greg Little, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, Shaq Thompson all got put on. Their punter got put on. Like it was a big deal.
That's some
in
big
Carolina, which is crazy because they're coming off a bye week. Like what? You know, that's just.
Those are some big name players, true, for that team.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And then I mean the other one affects the Browns a little bit, and obviously your guys. But Wyatt Teller was just put on yesterday as well. So I don't know how much you know about Wyatt Teller, but he used to be a Bill, so I've been somewhat following him. But he's having a pretty. He's a guard for the Browns, but he's been doing pretty solid over there. He's probably one of the top rated guards in the league this year at least. So it's it's awesome. Good for them. Yeah, good for them.
Fair enough.
But no, it's good. I mean, we're getting a lot of people activated off of it, which is obviously the way we want to go.
Yeah, that's the good side of it, the good news.
So, but no, other than that, I mean, it's pretty good. Obviously, all those players still have the ability to play this weekend if they can get their get their negative tests in there, and we can move forward and hopefully have a clean week here.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Short and easy COVID week this week. Like it. That's what we like to hear. Now, moving on. Looking forward. Now we got the Week 19 preview. Let's take a look here.
Love this Thursday night matchup, dude. Love it.
Patriots Rams.
Love it. First off, I think it's nice to have Thursday night football back as long as New England or LA don't go and F this up for us. Right. But we've been a couple of weeks removed from having consistent Thursday night games here.
My bad. Our bad.
But I'm pumped for it. Should be a good game.
I don't know, man. This is a tough one. This is a tough one for me. I haven't. By the way, this is one of the first weeks where I haven't picked all my teams yet.
Oh, really? Going on the fly?
Yeah, I'm just kind of.
I like it.
I've also just been busy. So I mean, so for everyone out there that doesn't know, Scratchy isn't here, but he did send us his picks. Scratchy picked the Patriots.
Of course, because he lives in New England and he's a sucker for Bill Belichick.
Now he said that Meg picked these teams, but looking through, I don't believe it.
I was gonna say Rob would pick all those teams anyway.
Exactly.
So Meg might have actually said the final, okay, but Rob's the one that put the bug in his ear. Let's be honest here.
All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going Rams. I'm going Rams.
I am also going to Rams, and I think it's going to be finally, it's regular season, but it's going to be Sean McVay getting back at Bill Belichick for a couple of years ago here. Jared Goff, they've been playing better when Jared Goff obviously takes care of the football, as most teams do. I think it's going to be a close one. The Rams are going to try to get as many plays in as they can, and they're going to hopefully be able to run all over them. But the Patriots need a limit if they're going to have a chance. I feel like they need to limit the amount of time that the Rams offense has the ball, so they're going to be a run heavy. But the Rams defense has been playing out of their minds lately. So,
my thing with this one, looking at this, is that you look at what the Patriots just did the last week to the Chargers in LA, and now they're back to LA yet again for another week. So they're traveling back there again. This isn't the Chargers that they're going up against. This is the Rams. The Rams' offense is tremendously better. The Rams' defense is tremendously better. It's just overall, it's a better team, and I think this is going to be one of those things of
special teams is better.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be one of those things where it's like you have I still don't believe the Patriots are a good team this year. I think they're middle of the pack, and this is a middle of the pack team getting a huge win. And they're going to be going into this game on that high, and the Rams are not going to have it. It's just going to be that simple. They're just not going to have it.
No, I agree. I don't know who's going to. I mean, you're not even have to have Jalen going with anyone because they don't have a true number one in New England, let alone a real true passing threat in Cam Newton anymore.
Exactly, and it was one of those things that I'm always interested in, and like we talked about it before. Baltimore, we normally have the 3 starting corners, and I always talk about that, like how that's a huge thing. Like we have Peters, Jimmy Smith, and Marlon Humphrey. We have 3 starting corners on the team on the field at almost all times. So it's always interesting seeing who goes where. And I was finding it interesting against the Cowboys how Marlon most of the time was in the slot.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that very interesting. But yeah, so like what you're saying with Jimmy, like with Jalen doesn't really have to cover anyone. So.
No, that's huge. I mean, it's gonna, and I think they will be able to slow down Aaron Donald. I mean, they were able to manage it pretty well in the Super Bowl, and Tom Brady, Bill Belichick will be able to, game plan against that. With McDaniels, but I don't know if they're going to be able to score enough points to keep up with the Rams offense. The Patriots defense used to be able to win games, special teams. Yeah, they were able to do that last week, but I don't see it
different ball game as well.
Different ball game exactly with this team on the other side compared to Chargers. So
then we start off Sunday afternoon, Denver at Carolina. Rob is going Broncos. I want to go Carolina, but after you told me all the COVID people, I'm going Broncos.
I am taking Carolina, and this is strictly based off the fact that I'm needing for my fantasy team, Panthers need it, Christian McCaffrey to be back.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey's back. The offense is different. They're going to lean on, obviously, if they don't get, especially DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel back. I mean, like I said, they have a lot of time because it was on the 7th that they tested positive, so they have plenty of time to, get right there. But if they don't, they're going to have to lean heavily, and I mean heavily on Robbie Anderson. And, Teddy and Robbie had a pretty good connection, over the time here. So, I hope they were able to use him a little bit. But like I said, it's just... If those receivers aren't there and McCaffrey comes back, I'm going to say he's catching 8 to 10 balls easy. He's going to be heavily involved in that offense, and that's what I think the Panthers need. I mean, they need that dynamic running back, and that's kind of how their offense is designed around. I mean, Mike Davis is a pretty good filler, and he's done well, but he's not Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So.
I mean, like you said, it's a completely different ballgame when McCaffrey's in there. I'm gonna go Denver just because with it's one of those things. Eventually, like they have to get things clicking on offense, and with the amount of fucking firepower that they have against the Panthers, which I don't think they have a whole lot of depth. I see this, potentially. I think this is going to be a good game, but
I think most games actually this week are going to be pretty good. I just can't. The Broncos I think it's like the last 4 games I saw a stat for. They're -10 in the turnover differential in the last 4 games. You are not going to win games when you're averaging more than 2 more turnovers than your other team, than your opposing team.
I mean, it's
not going to happen.
And I mean, it's also, let's also be honest here. We got to take that with a grain of salt, considering that they had a practice squad wide receiver playing quarterback.
Yeah, but they even turned how many? I don't even know. How
he
many
threw 2. I know that he threw 2, but I mean, how many fumbles were there in that game? I don't know.
You're right. That's one game though. I mean, it's just it's bad. I mean, even bad decisions by Locke last week when he was in there, just throwing it up. And I mean, there's one thing, giving your guys a chance, but if you just throw it up and your guy doesn't even have a chance, and the only one having a chance is the defense, that's an issue.
True.
So.
True.
But show me you can take care of the ball, and I'll get back on your bandwagon.
We got Houston at Chicago. Houston at Chicago. Rob's taking the Texans.
You better not go Mitch again, dude. You can't go it again if he's letting you down, can you?
See, this is the thing. If I don't, then I'm not a true fan, right? It's one of those things, and you know what? Fuck, I'm going Mitch. I'm going the Bears. I'm going the Bears.
Oh man, you're crazy.
I'm going the Bears.
You're crazy. I'm going the Bears, but it is not
because
of Mitch Trubisky.
It's 100% because of Mitch Trubisky.
It is because of David Montgomery.
Don't any of you listen to that.
He's been playing phenomenal the last couple weeks, and now he faces a very weak rush defense of Houston Texans. It's going to be a cold one in Chicago, as it is at this time of the year. Dome team coming up. I'd like David Montgomery to get 15, 17 carries, control the clock. Mitch isn't going to be asked to do too much, and they need it more than the Texans. I mean, both these teams need it. I mean, they're fighting for the playoff lives right here. They're clinging on the little life they have left.
Yeah.
So I just, like I said, I like Chicago at home in December, controlling the ball, give it to David, let him rumble.
Exactly. I think this is just it's too good of a situation for the Bears. It's at home. It's in December against a Texans team, which I don't give a shit how professional you are, how anything you are. If you're a team that thinks you're supposed to be a playoff, potentially pushing team, and you have a season like this, at the end of the season, you can't be feeling like too happy to be playing still. Like, I don't care who you are on that team, right? And this is a team where, like, you see it, and it's like, J.J. Watt wants out. Fucking Deshaun Watson's like, it hurts. Like, this is just hurting me now. Like, doing this. And it's like, the Bears still have some potential to maybe do something. Texans don't, in my opinion. I don't think that. I think they might be.
The Bears have to beat out the Vikings, dude. I mean, that's more doable than I think the Texans' uphill battle.
Exactly.
With all the people they have to jump over there. I mean, the AFC has been. Told you this. That's been my pushing point. The AFC's tough. The AFC's tough right now.
So I think that this is just I think the Bears are in a situation where they need it more, and they're gonna get it. Dallas at Cincinnati. This is gonna be a fucking incredible game.
If you mean incredible,
is this when I can bring out my tie again from earlier in the year?
Go for it. If you want to pull a tie on this, it's
Scratchy picked Bengals. Scratchy picked Bengals.
And again, Scratchy's wrong.
I don't know, man. So I take it you're going boys.
I'm going the boys.
Yeah.
And I will tell you why. Make your pick.
Fuck it, I'm going boys.
So, the reason I am going is Rob brought it up earlier, way back in the day. It's all about revenge tours. Andy Dalton's coming to town. Andy Dalton's coming back, facing his former team, who is averaging 11 points a game in their 4-game losing streak. 11 in the NFL. Andy Dalton will be able to put up 11 points. 11 points is easy, the Cowboys offense. Zeke actually looked good last week. The offense was moving. I mean, against a pretty good Ravens defense. Yes, they were without Jimmy. Obviously that's huge. But speaking of which, we have to talk about if he's coming back before I make my pick this week. But no, also, I don't know if you said the Bengals offensive line doesn't protect anyone.
Oh no!
And after watching some highlights, I felt bad for Joe Burrow watching.
Oh yeah, dude!
Ryan Finley, everyone else get crushed. Like, it's just not fair.
Like, do you remember me sending you the videos during preseason of like him like doing potential like scramble drills, and then we found out afterwards that they weren't scramble drills; they were just from team sessions. And he had like it's like the Bengals. We have shit on Joe Burrow so much from pre-draft stuff to draft day to out of draft analysis to preseason through all of the weeks.
Come on.
And it's one of those things where it's like I'm feeling bad for the kid just because like he doesn't have anyone to protect him. Get the kid some protection. But no, I mean the Cowboys looked okay against Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore did what Baltimore does, which is in we get you into a situation and then we stop you there, and that's what they did a lot of times. Just get you in a situation and stop you. The 3 missed field goals was fucking huge too, mind you, but you know, I don't see the Bengals offensively being able to do what Baltimore was. And that's kind of the way that I'm thinking about this in my head right now.
Did you watch the brawl at the end of the game between the Bengals and Miami?
The only thing that I saw was the Bengals offensive line sitting on the bench.
Sitting on the bench because they don't protect during the game. They don't protect when people are fighting during the game. The Bengals offensive line could give shit. They don't care. They could care less what's going on in that game, and they just seem disinterested. And that's coming from offensive line. Like we're offensive linemen, I guess. You know, tight end, whatever. You can't can't do that.
Like when that shit happens, you gotta when that shit happens, you and the D line, you're the first 2 groups to go up, and you guys, that's no.
It bugs me, dude.
So now we got Tennessee at Jacksonville. Rob picks the Titans. I want to pick Tennessee. I want to pick Jacksonville, but I feel like Tennessee will win this. I'm just gonna go Tennessee just because I need to catch up to Rob.
You're gonna go Tennessee or Jacksonville? Rob pick Titans?
Yeah, Rob picked the Titans.
You're going Jacksonville because he picked the Titans?
No, I'm going Titans. I'm going Titans just because I can't.
Because you can't go the other way.
Yeah.
So what you got to remember is, I mean, obviously, I think it was with Gardner Minshew, but these guys played a little while ago, and it was a close one. It was 33-30.
That's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like this is like Jacksonville's been playing very well, and Tennessee just got smacked around by Cleveland, who.
But Jacksonville has also lost 4 of their last 5 games by 4 points or less. So they're getting close games in there. But
I'm still sticking Titans.
I'm going Titans too because I think eventually they got to get back on track. They have to. Like Vrabel's too good of a coach to just keep letting this team go downhill.
I think last week was an anomaly. Jesus Christ, here we go again. An anomaly. Yeah. And I think this is going to be the quote unquote revenge game. You know, but it's not a player, it's just a team. It's like, okay, well, we just got embarrassed. Now it's time to fucking,
Big time.
Yeah. It's time to get the glove on, spit on the hand, and let's get after this a little bit, that sort of thing. This is just, I think this is going to be violent. I think this is going to be, I think Luton. Is it Luton or Luton?
I think it's Luton.
Luton. I think Luton's in for a rough game. And I think Derrick Henry's going for over 200.
Hopefully not. I'm going against him in fantasy, so.
Well.
I was thinking that too. I think Derrick Henry does have a monster game. It is upsetting, but I am going against him. So I'm hoping they can slow him down a little bit. They held him under 800. I think they held him under 100 yards the last time they played. I don't think it happens this time. I just don't. So it's rough, but it's the truth.
we said before, the most dangerous team, right, is a good team coming off of a bad loss. And I mean, I forgot what the other one is now, but I know the first one is a good team coming off a bad loss. We had a good team come off a really bad loss, and this is gonna hurt. It's just that simple.
Yep.
Kansas City.
Way to stop the hurting. Get the dub.
Kansas City at Miami. Rob's going Miami.
I'm not.
I am not.
I don't think I'm bad.
I don't.
Saints game will be interesting next week if they get Breeze back in for New Orleans. But how do you go against the Chiefs?
That was my I think the only time I've gone against the Chiefs was Baltimore Chiefs, and that was a little bit of I honestly thought we could slow them down early in the season.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit easier for me to say that than it is for me to say Dolphins. I feel like we don't even need to talk about this. I mean, who's going to slow them down?
I don't even care about slowing them down. I mean, you could hold them to 24 points. The Dolphins aren't putting up 24 points.
No, not against that defense.
Dolphins aren't putting up 24 points.
No.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that is favoring the Dolphins is I know they're top 5 in the league with creating turnovers, but you also have a quarterback on the other end that has only thrown, 2 picks all year?
I think something like that.
So,
You have a quarterback who's done that, and you have a group of receivers and backs who do not fumble.
Yeah, it's
like it's
it's a recipe for success. I mean, you don't turn the ball over, you force turnovers, you score a lot of points. How do you lose games? You don't. The one game you did lose, you turned the ball over. That was one of his interceptions. I mean, that's so it's just
when your offense is so good that you can motion your quarterback out of there and your tight end is almost throwing touchdowns. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
Awesome.
It was
awesome.
When they first did it against Baltimore, I just remember watching it. Just like I think I messaged you like immediately, like as soon as they went up by like 2 scores. I just messaged you and I was like, I've never seen half the plays that they're running right now. Like I've seen a lot of football, and I'm like, I have never seen half of these fucking I've never seen.
He just comes up with new plays so often. It's how he keeps it so fresh. Like come on,
like going from empty to then motion a receiver into the backfield, and then running what looks like it's going to be a speed option, which is actually then a little dump underneath to the tight end on a tight end like middle screen on the rollout, which then scores, and it's like.
Oh,
touche.
I don't know how Rob picks them.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Speaking of another one, Arizona at Giants. Rob picks the Giants. This one's a little bit more tough for me to bash on that because Giants have been looking good. Arizona, I feel like, is either yay or it's just really bad.
So my thing is they had the famous Hail Murray against the Bills. Okay.
Since then.
All right.
Since then,
they haven't won a freaking game.
You know what the funniest part about that is, though? I don't know if you know this one or not. He trademarked for Hail Murray, and then there was another name. He trademarked 2 names. And since that moment, they've done this as well.
They haven't won a game.
I'm going Giants. I'm going to fucking...
They can't get out of their own way.
So you're going Giants?
But... No, I'm going Cardinals because they're too good of an offense to slow down. But the Giants' defense is so good. They played phenomenal last week.
And this is my thing: is I feel like the Giants have I feel like the Giants at the beginning of the year we shit on them a lot because there was a lot of new stuff. I think Joe Judge is a coach that we weren't expecting to be the coach there, and he's doing a lot of things we didn't expect, and it took a little bit longer than we thought it would because of how much bullshit has happened. Now that he's been there a little while. Right, they're starting to get that clog turning. The defense is playing out of its mind. The offense is looking okay. I don't like Colt McCoy, but that's a different fucking story for another day. I mean,
doesn't matter. Colt's not starting.
He isn't. Is Daniel starting?
I don't think so. I think Daniel's back.
I've said it since I don't know which week, but Cardinals it looks like they're trying to do too much stuff. I'm going Giants, and I feel okay with picking that right now. Actually. I mean, I don't know how you stop Kyler Murray. I don't know how you stop DeAndre Hopkins with the Giants' defense. But my thing is just the fact of they're going to stop themselves. They show it every week.
But the thing is, they just stopped DK Metcalf and
it's
Russell Wilson. So is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. But they are going back to to New Jersey this week.
It's a crossroad trip.
So it's tough. But I'm going to stick with Arizona.
Okay.
Cliff has to get this right. They have to. Going Arizona.
We got Minnesota at Tampa Bay. Rob is going Tampa Bay.
I think it's another one you have to. I mean, is Minnesota really scary enough to beat Tampa? Tampa has a top defense. Minnesota only does well when Dalvin's running the ball. Are they going to be able to run against Tampa's defense? I don't think so.
I mean, I agree, but then also at the same time, I'm not really.
Tampa's coming off a bye. When's the last time Tom Brady lost off a bye? Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. Colin. I mean, my thing is, it's just the Buccaneers have just looked so fucking. Oh, I mean, I'm going to use it as it's just they look pathetic.
They do. It's just more up and down though. I mean, they're just not consistent, and that's really the
But
thing.
all right, I'm going Buccaneers simply just because of the one thing that you just said, which is when has Tom Brady lost after coming after a bye? Because honestly, I mean, like you said, I mean, the offense runs through Dalvin Cook. The Tampa Bay run defense, because the pass defense is so, but the run defense, right, that is solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
all right, let's move on. Nice and easy one there. I mean, it's like I'm not scared of Kirk Cousins. I'm not scared of fucking Adam Thielen.
Kirk Cousins, my cousin, your cousin, none of them.
Yeah, no.
Tampa by 40.
Yeah. Indianapolis at Vegas.
This is going to be a good game.
You know what? I'm going to say this isn't going to be a good game, and I'm going Indy.
Wow.
I'm going to say this isn't
going to be a good game.
I do not. Because Vegas has had this weird thing of doing a really good game and then the next week doing fucking nothing. Really good game, fucking nothing.
What was good about last week?
Well, no, so I'm saying, like, if in the grand scheme of things, right? Really good game against the Chiefs, get their shit pushed in. They beat, I mean, yes, mind you, it is the 0-12 Jets, but they beat the Jets on the very last play of the game. This is the following week. By that criteria, so they're going to suck it up.
Who's Rob going in this game?
Rob's going Indy.
I'm going to go Vegas.
Okay.
Just because, and this is what I'm going to tell you, because I watched Phillip Rivers, yes, a different offense, mind you, fine, twice last year play against the same Raiders defense, and he threw like 40 picks in those two games.
True.
Did not beat any of them. Phillip Rivers, for whatever reason, does not look good against John Gruden. I don't know why. I don't know. But that's why I'm going with...
I was going to say, there are those teams where, like, you know, it's just, like, this guy going up against this team just doesn't work.
And that's solely what I'm going off of. I think the Colts should win this game. I do. I really do. I just don't. I don't think they do though. Like, they should win this game, but I don't think they do.
I can't. They
are the better team. They have the better defense. Is Derek Carr going to be able to come out?
That's my thing. Is like until
move the ball on them.
Until the Raiders can prove that they can be consistent, it's hard for me to pick them now because it's
my
just
big concern with this game though.
Mm-hmm.
Is I'm not sure if Josh Jacobs is going to be playing.
Oh.
That is a concern.
So now here's the new question though that I'm going to bring up just because we are talking about Indy. Off season, Wentz to Indianapolis. What do you think?
Wentz to Indianapolis is a possibility depending on how far Indianapolis goes. They might bring him back. I don't know.
Because this is my thing: is Rivers really going to be a one and done quarterback in Indy?
That's a question. I don't know. I can't answer that. I cannot answer that. But my thing is though, is you need to find a team that has the cap space to take on Wentz's contract before you even think about bringing him on. Did you see the numbers that Philly has to pay Wentz if he's not on the roster? Dead money, dude. It's almost $60 million next year. You cannot afford that. If you go Jalen Hurts and he starts lighting it up here and you start him next year, you keep him on the roster for another year at least. At least you're paying your quarterbacks the same amount of money. The only difference is they're in different positions.
I think what you do is I think what we're going to see is Hurts is going to play well throughout the rest of the season. Hurts is going to be the starter for the rest of the season. Hurts is going to play well. Hurts will be listed as the starter for next season. And then we're going to see one of those things where a big name team or a team that potentially could make a push lose a quarterback and then go after Wentz. Like, for instance, if it was this year, I could see it being a team like the Niners.
And that's where I think we were talking about it. I said that I think that he goes to the Niners.
Yep.
If they can shed Jimmy G, I don't know what their
contracts are. Back to New England.
I don't care where you shed him to. Do a straight-up swap. Wentz for Jimmy G. See what happens. I don't care.
Yeah.
But their contracts are similar enough, I feel like, where they could both take the, and you could almost do that trade probably straight up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Jimmy G's not playing well. You might have to throw something in if you're San Fran, but why not? Why not? I like it. I would love Carson Wentz to go back to a run heavy offense.
Yeah, I mean, unlike I don't know if we were talking about it on the podcast last week or if we were just talking about it, period, at some point during the week, because we talk about football fucking almost every day during the week. We were talking about it. That's what he did in college. In college, he was a game manager under center, run heavy offense, and then he threw the ball around really well. And if he needed to, he could go in the gun and throw it. And I brought up the fact of Matt Leinart. This is the exact same situation that happened to Leinart. It's just that Wentz has a better team around him than Leinart did when Leinart came out. Leinart came out, went to Arizona, and got put in a fucking air raid offense, and he was a quarterback that for his entire career was hand the ball to Bush, hand the ball to White, hand the ball to Bush, hand the ball to White. Fake play action,
Lendale.
throw it. Gotta love Lendale.
Good old Lendale.
But yeah, no, I mean it's a conversation that we're going to be having for, I feel like, for the rest of where it's going to be talked about for the rest of the season and off season is the whole Wentz issue. But now we move on. That was the first of the 4 o'clock games. Now we're into the second one. Jets at Seattle.
This should take about 2 seconds. Jets, right?
It's like I really want to, though. That's the worst part. Is I really fucking want to.
So the funny thing I think about this for all you gamblers out there is Seattle's favored by 13.5. I don't think they cover this. Seattle cannot blow a team out. They just can't.
And we've talked about
it.
We've talked about it all year. That's Pete Carroll's thing, right? He plays down to his opponent. He played down to the Giants. He lost to the Giants. He's going to play down to the Jets. It's going to be back-to-back weeks.
You can't play down to everyone because eventually you're not going to be able to come through. Russell's not going to be able to come through for you. His offensive line looked bad last week. Bad. That he was getting hit left and right, dude. Horrible.
You know what? I'm fuck it. I need to somehow be able to beat Rob. I got to have some picks that are different than his. And looking right now, I don't have a whole lot.
This isn't the one you want to do.
I'm gonna follow my fucking sword here. I'm going Jets. I'm going Jets,
Okay,
and I'll give my reason after you pick, and you just
I'm
you
going
go.
Seattle, but how many losses does Seattle have here?
I don't have those numbers.
4.
Okay.
How many turnovers? So let's put it this way: Seattle has to turn the ball over 2 or more times, and they're all their losses.
Okay.
I don't think the Jets can turn the Seattle Seahawks over more than 2
So
times. Seattle's not going to turn it over. They will be fine. The defense is playing a lot better.
So this is going to be my thing. Okay. So the Texans fire Bill O'Brien. Texans immediately that following week look great, right?
It's a freaking D coordinator.
The Lions fire Patricia. The Lions look great. Like I said, I was watching a podcast with Pat McAfee, I think it was his podcast actually. I was watching that, and he had AJ Hawk on and someone else. It was a butler, but I don't know which butler it was. And they were talking about, have you ever gotten calls in and you've been like, yeah, no, fuck that, and then checked it? And they were both like, oh yeah. There's been times when, like, either the headset messes up and you just have to call a play, or, like, they call a play and you're sitting there and you say it out loud. The entire defense looks at you and goes, are you fucking kidding me? And then you're like, okay, fuck it, we're doing this.
Nice.
How can anyone on that defense not get that call and be like, wait, he wants us to do what now? Like, I think that the Jets defense is going to look different. I think the Jets defense is going to look better. I'm going to go with the Jets because I also just need a fucking win over Rob.
The Jets are not winning this game, dude. It's not happening. The Jets don't have enough
I'm going with it.
Since they traded for Carlos Dunlap, they have been looking good on defense for Seattle.
They have. I mean,
If they fired Adam Gase, I probably would be on board with you. Teams that have had an interim head coach this year are 3-0 after firing their head coach. 3-0.
Well, that's
their defensive coordinator.
That's about to go to 4-0, and then you're gonna have to make an assistant, and it's just gonna say coach. Green Bay at Detroit. I'm going Pack. I mean, I going Packers.
I know I shut you down there.
Yeah, I did, but no, I'm going Packers. No, I'm just gonna adjust the stat.
On that last one, by the way.
Then you're going Lions.
Lock it up.
Oh, Seahawks lock it up. All right.
I'm locking it up after their debacle last week for me. So
back-to-back weeks. Ooh. Pack's Lions.
So
I
anyway,
love Pack.
back to Green Bay, Detroit here.
Pack.
I don't see how you can pick against Green Bay right now.
No, it's
like you said. I mean, they look good coming off, off of firing of Matt Patricia. But you're also playing the Bears compared to the Packers. You're playing Mitch against Aaron Rodgers. Playing Allen Robinson against Devontae Adams. Sorry, I mean, it's going to be close. The games are always close with the Packers and Lions, But I just Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, he's going to win it. He's going to win it. Vikings are going to lose, as we already mentioned earlier, and the Packers are going to clinch the NFC North. That is what's going to happen.
I mean, I'm just going to go with a weird saying that I saw online that I liked, and I thought it makes sense to me, and it doesn't make any sense. Tom Brady's the GOAT, but Aaron Rodgers is better. Aaron Rodgers is going to win this game.
Who said that?
I don't know. I saw it online and I read it and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And then immediately afterwards, I read the rest of the statement. It says, this statement doesn't make any sense, but you agree with me. And I'm sitting there looking at it. I'm like, I mean, it's like, how can I say no now? Like, I mean, I do agree with you.
Man, that's funny. That's funny.
Atlanta at Chargers. Rob's going Chargers. I'm going Chargers because I'm going to stick to my guns of anybody but Atlanta. I'm gonna fucking stay with the Chargers. I don't know.
So what's wrong with the Chargers?
Everything other than Herbert.
Do you think it's just special teams? Because that's all Anthony Lynn said he was going to take over.
Oh my god.
Atlanta, dude. Atlanta's winning this game. Come on. Young Hoku's going to win it.
Young Hoku.
I think it's pronounced Young Way.
Young Way?
I apologize for all you people out there.
Young Way?
But I think so. I don't see Atlanta putting this, dude. It's just Atlanta hasn't been consistent, which is crazy. Chargers coming off an embarrassing loss. Yes, I understand that.
I mean, like I said, I said week 1 or week 2 the last time I picked Atlanta, I said anybody but Atlanta at that point, and I made it very clear that it was anybody but Atlanta, and I've been fucking running with that.
I understand. I'm hoping for like a high scoring, like 40 to 37 games. Really.
I would like to see. My thing is, I would like to see Herbert get back on track because I think Herbert is the best quarterback out of all the quarterbacks in this draft, and I think he's one of the better quarterbacks we've seen come out recently, as well. Just from a pure quarterback standing, I think he's one of the better ones we've seen come out recently.
I like it. I agree with that, but I don't know. I like Atlanta. Always have. Always will. Atlanta's gonna win. The Chargers just don't scare me.
No.
Since Eckler's come back, they've lost. They're trying to feel like getting him the ball. I mean, he looked good against the Bills, I thought. But I feel like they're trying too hard to give him the ball. You got to get the ball in Keenan Allen's hands.
My thing is this: is like you look at the skill position on that team, and I'm not scared by any of the running backs. I'm not scared by Eckler. I don't think Eckler's a good back even. To be 100% honest with you, so my thing is why are we worrying about trying to give him the ball? I'm more or that sort of thing. So, I want to see Herbert get back on track, and hopefully the defense can slow Atlanta down. But we got the Saints at Philly. Rob's going Saints.
Don't do it. Come on.
I'm going Saints.
Don't do it.
Going Saints. As
much as it's the Saints, dude.
If it was any other fucking team that he's going up against, yes, I'm probably going Hurts because I think Hurts adds.
I probably would say the same thing, but the Saints defense, dude, is just playing lights out.
So fucking good.
They're averaging 9 points a game.
So good.
Giving up.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. I love watching that. For the few people out there know, I love D-line play. I love D-line play. That D-line is so fucking... Watching Cam Jordan is I fucking love watching Cam Jordan.
I like him.
Yeah,
it's... No, the Saints. I mean, still not a big fan of Taysom.
No, I'm not.
They need to get it in Alvin Kamara's hands more. They really do. Drew Brees is phenomenal getting Alvin Kamara the ball in space. That's what they need to do. They just like, I don't know, with Taysom Hill, they're running a lot of read options, hand the ball off the middle. It's just, it's not the Saints, dude.
It looks honestly what it looks like is this is almost the experimental, like, is this what the offense will look like when Drew Brees leaves?
It should not be.
It isn't. It shouldn't at all, because it's one of those things where, like, you see the teams that are doing that religiously. You take those quarterbacks and compare them to Taysom Hill, and it's night and day. Players, like, it's just no. All right, don't need to talk anymore.
We go to the next one. That's
Washington at San Fran. Rob's going Washington. I'm going Washington.
I am going San Fran.
Ooh, all right. My thing is that, like, that yet again, that D line and Alex Smith. That's the only two things I'm going to say.
Yeah, and this is going to be the first one this year. The revenge tour is not going to work. Alex Smith starting against San Fran. You know why it's not going to work? Because he's going to Arizona. It doesn't matter. He's not playing in San Fran.
He's going to Arizona.
Okay? I don't think San Fran left Arizona. That, I think, is going to play into their favor.
Okay.
I really do. I think that they're getting healthier as far as the 49ers are. Washington could be without Gibson, which I think hurts them big time. Both these teams' defenses are actually playing really well. They're still averaging, even with the Bills put up, 34 on them last week. They're still both averaging under 24. And I don't think the Washington football team can put up 24 points. So I'm San Fran. I think Nick Mullins just lets it sling, and they end up beating him on the end. I mean, Shanahan's good at getting people the ball in different ways, and Debo will get it. Kendrick Bourne will get it. I mean, it's just I like San Fran. I like watching. It's honestly one of the favorite, them and the Rams, one of the favorite offense to watch in the NFL, dude. Just the way that they can manipulate defenses is actually amazing.
True.
But that's why I'm going San Fran. I don't think, like I said, Washington's going to be able to put up as many points. But that's usually how you win games. But I understand.
Sometimes. I think the Washington's defense is going to come up big in this game, and it's going to, like, I think they slow down the Niners enough so that Alex Smith and his bloody leg can just do what it needs to. Moving on to Sunday night.
Here we go.
Steelers at Buff.
Here we go.
Rob's going Bills.
As you should.
I'm going Steelers.
I hate you.
I'm going Bills. So come on. Come on.
Come on.
I'm going Bills.
Yes, obviously I'm going the Bills too. The Bills are tough. Everyone's talking about Steelers are playing 3 games or in 12 days. Blah blah. They do that like every year. Who doesn't do that?
Yeah. There's at one point during the season, most teams are going to have that happen.
Yeah. Come on, you can't give it, and that's what's going to piss me off is if the Bills come in there and dominate the Steelers. It's their 3rd game in 12 days. They're just worn out. They need a break. No. The Bills are coming off a short week. They played on Monday night too. Okay. Guess what? The Bills are also 5-1 at home. Josh Allen just made a mockery of Salah's defense. And I'm hoping he can do it against Pittsburgh here. Pittsburgh's down a lot of guys, too, now. I mean, they're getting injuries. It's going to be interesting. James Conner's supposed to be back. I still don't like their running game. The Bills' defense has been susceptible to the running game, and that's what got away from it in San Fran is they got away from the running game. I'm
upset that I can't find. I'm upset that I can't find the thing that I was reading to you earlier about the Steelers.
Oh, what's that?
So I was going to read it on stream right now. The thing of their like they played this team this week, like that sort of thing.
Yes.
The
Steelers rode to 11-1.
Yeah, I mean they've played nobody, and then it's like, okay, so then they play the Titans, they lose to the Titans. I mean, they beat the Titans, and we're like, okay, cool. So they're playing Washington. Then no way they lose to Washington. They lose to fucking Washington. Bills are going to come in. The Steelers are down right now. The Steelers aren't playing good football. They're probably the worst 11-0 team we've had in recent history. Or And I think the Bills are going to. The Bills, I think, in my opinion, the Bills need a statement win. Right? Because, I mean, you being a Bills fan, you still hear it like, almost, the Bills are doing
you'll
this
see.
and that.
Like I said, it doesn't matter. I don't care if you beat them by 20. It's still not going to be enough for the naysayers out there because they're going to say they're playing their third game in 12 days. It doesn't matter. They're tired, exhausted. Meet me in the play. Like, it's just...
No, fuck off.
I'm
Bills are making a statement. Boom, statement win here. Then we go to Monday Night Football. We got Baltimore at Cleveland.
What did Rob lock down, by the way? I know he already.
Rob locked down the Saints.
It's okay.
Yeah, okay. Like a bum. So Baltimore at Cleveland. Rob obviously is picking Cleveland.
Yeah. We all know who you're picking.
Yeah, I'm picking Baltimore.
And this is probably one of the toughest games of the year to choose. For the simple fact that Baltimore destroyed Cleveland in their first matchup. Wasn't even close. Cleveland did not even belong in the same field. Cleveland has been looking a lot better as of recently, and as you know, I dislike Cleveland. I don't think they're a good team, but they can hold on the ball. Baltimore's defense, their run game in particular, has been upsetting me. It did not look good even last night against Dallas, which I was surprised with. And I'm telling you, this is a tough game for me. This is a tough game. But they tried making a statement win last week, but even that game, they don't know. It's like when you're not used to it, okay? You're looking for ways to lose, okay? And that's what I feel the Browns are doing. Like, look at last. They got up by 31 points,
something like that, and then
they were looking to find. They were finding ways to try to lose that game. So as you can tell, I am going the Ravens this week. I don't like the pick because the Ravens have not excited me lately, especially on defense. They're missing Calais Campbell more than I want. Is Jimmy Smith playing? I don't know. But Calais Campbell's pissed me off with his freaking calf injury.
Yeah. And it's funny because he played last week, or yesterday he played. That's weird to say. And you could tell that it's still aggravating him. And when you really think about it, being a D lineman and firing off, like, I can only imagine how much that must fucking hurt. Yeah. But it's one of those things as well where, it's the way that I've been thinking about it is we're almost back to our old days of being. Do you remember the organized chaos? Remember those days?
Yes.
So for everyone out there that doesn't know what that is, organized chaos was when we had Dalius Thomas, when we had Bart Scott, when we had DeJuan Landry, and all them. Organized chaos doesn't make any sense because the two words don't mean the same fucking thing. But it was organized chaos because Rex, who was calling the plays, so the defensive side of the ball, would call in the play. Yeah. He would just call the play, and Ray and Ed Reed would decide who was doing what on each play. So even though on one film you may watch it and be like, okay, this is the blitz, this is like an all dogs fire, right? One week it could be a certain set of people. The next week there's a whole different set of people because on game day they were changing it up. It's very similar this year where it's just like Dean Pease is just doing whatever the fuck he wants. He's like, I'm just going to blitz this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And I think that's a little bit different than what we have been in the last few years where we have been very stout in certain areas. So I think that like I said at the beginning of the year, we smacked this team around, like you said, didn't deserve to be on the field with us, and that's just being brutally honest. Dean Pease was pissed that they kicked a field goal. I think that this is, and like I said, I think Baltimore wins out the rest of the year, and this past week against Dallas with Lamar back. We started that. This week, we get Matt Judon. We get Mark Andrews back. I think we'll probably get Willie Snead back, hopefully within the next day or two. Hollywood Brown looked better recently. I think that this is where it starts, and I feel confident enough to say I'm locking it down as well.
Wow, I like it. I like the lock. And this just comes back to the fact, like I said, the Browns just... I don't know if so they're figuring out how to win, okay? As a team that has had couldn't even tell you when their last winning season was, but as a team and knowing that coming from a fan base like the Bills, it's like when you played the Patriots. It just, you found ways to lose the games more than you found ways to win the games. When is the last time Baltimore lost to the Browns? Like, Browns expect to lose to the Ravens. Like, it's just in their nature, and I don't think it changes. I just don't.
I think this is gonna be a great Monday night game. But then yet again though, it's Monday night. How many times does Baker Mayfield look good in primetime games?
Exactly.
You know,
we'll see if he's ready to take the next step. I still don't think they're a good team. I don't think Cleveland's a good team. Baltimore needs to win out to make my picks come to fruition with Miami not making the playoffs. But
well, that's the other thing is that Baltimore is a scary team that is better than their record, and they need to win out to make the playoffs. You don't put a dog in that sort of situation.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, the Browns are pretty much locked up their spot, dude.
Yeah.
The Ravens need this win. The Browns don't.
So, right, that's it.
My last thing I got here is it's a shout out to Mr. Scratchy. Where's all that talk at, bud? Where's it all at? Did the Cowboys come in and beat the Ravens? I don't think so. I got to check the score again, but they didn't, Rob. You were wrong. And that's your shout out for tonight's podcast.
I will wait for my apology next week when they also beat the Browns.
And waiting, and I need that apology, okay? Because you were expecting it to come from us. We are expecting it. Okay?
That's it for us for today. Hope you guys all have a great day. Enjoy watching football tonight. Depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and we will talk to y'all later. Bye.